Once upon a time, all of us was in chain. Y'all, I would play the song, but I don't want to get this stream taken down. And I don't know how it works on each platform because we live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. But bruh, I just I wanted to go live because I just we gotta talk about it. I'm 41 years old. I've never seen anything like this. I can honestly say, hand to the Lord, I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen a diss track performed 5 times audibly and a 6 on the outro on a technology giant's streaming platform that initially got big for books, but is now mostly shipping and cloud data. Kendrick from Inglewood, with every known gang rapper and section represented, performed an amazing concert streamed globally live on Juneteenth. 3 of the songs were disses to arguably the biggest rapper, at least the most hits. That's not debatable. How you feel about him aside, he's the biggest rapper, one of the biggest rappers, if not the biggest. He has the most hits. And Kendrick not only performed the biggest diss track 5 times, he unified gangs on stage with NBA players. Russell Westbrook was walking on stage. Tommy the Clown, if you know LA, and I don't know if y'all seen the movie Rise. It was about Crumpin from years ago. It was like the first movie I saw on Lionsgate. He was on stage. He had a whole section 20 years after he had a dance battle at the Forum. And then they took a picture of the gang unity. D Rose was on stage. And then they played the song again. Yo, only through technology and the internet could something like this happen. I heard like stories of when Jay-Z and Kanye perform Niggas in Paris over and over, but I couldn't afford to go to concerts back then. This is my truth. My brother went and they performed at the Tacoma Dome. He was like, Kev, they did Niggas in Paris like 9 times. I was like, that's crazy. I didn't have concert money. And the wild part is I was at my son's, because of technology, I was watching a concert in a city that's not far from me. I'm about an hour away from Inglewood, watching a concert on my phone, tweeting about it with people all over the world. And now we're talking live about it. And it was all directed at one person. Can you imagine? And this is like, all jokes aside, I'm a very sensitive individual. I can't imagine getting into a beef with a rapper and me thinking I'm going to win, taunting him, you ain't gonna drop, you ain't gonna drop. And then him having early on the song of the summer, right? But then it kind of died down. Like, they're not like us. It was still high, but it wasn't at the fever pitch it was when it first came out. Only for Kendrick to announce, I don't think more than a week. I remember hearing about this concert like at most a week ago, probably 4 or 5 days, but at most a week ago. And I didn't get tickets. I didn't really look into getting tickets, to be honest. And then it was like, oh, it's going to be streaming on Amazon. I was like, oh, great. On Juneteenth. And I've never even been Kendrick is my favorite rapper. Good Kid, Mad City is my favorite rap album of all time. But I've never seen Kendrick live outside of like I've never seen him in person. And the only live performances I've seen is like the Grammys or whatever award shows, and those are less than 10 minutes. He performed so many songs that I love, and they sounded a little different. Sound like they were all verses and lyrics that I knew now sounded perfect. I'm talking about before the not the diss record. I'm talking about from his previous albums. Good Kid, Mad City, Damn, the King Kunta, all of them, not King Kunta, but Pimp a Butterfly, all those albums. I'm listening to those lyrics differently, like, hey, hold on now, wait, what? He brought out J-Rock to perform Money Trees. J-Rock's verse on Money Trees is my personal favorite feature ever. Granted, I didn't start listening to rap music like most people until way later in life, so I don't have the full history that everybody else has. But my favorite feature, my personal favorite feature, is J-Rock's verse on Money Trees. Getting to see him perform that live, the Black Hippie reunion, even the beginning. Let's go all the way to the beginning. I don't even know if y'all were all watching at the beginning. The first hour was just LA artists. And I ain't gonna hold you. I didn't know most of them during DJ Headset. I didn't know most of those artists. Those were LA artists. The LA people on my timeline was like, oh, Jay Worthy and this person. And, I didn't know him. But I thought that was so super dope for Kendrick, who knew everybody's gonna be watching this concert, to use that first whole segment to shout out all these up and coming LA rappers, right? And I was like, that's super dope. That's like a great nod. Like Kendrick is really LA. He really from here, and he dedicated almost an hour to underground LA artists. I believe I can say underground LA artists because a lot of people didn't know them outside of people from LA. People from LA on my timeline absolutely knew them. The DJs, the people, they knew them. Then the second DJ Mustard set, was mainstream LA artists. It was Dom Kennedy, Problem, who goes by something Martin, I forgot. I'm trying to think of everybody. Steve Lacy, Tyler the Creator, YG. Yeah, y'all give me some of the names. West Side Boogie, Dom Kennedy, I remember him. Jason Martin, thank y'all. I didn't see Ty Dolla $ign. Roddy Ricch, okay. All those LA artists, Tyler the Creator. It was just like amazing. Is it Blast? BLX? I never said it out loud. Okay, gave Tommy the Clown his own set. Then, okay, Ty Dolla $ign was on there. I didn't see Ty Dolla $ign. Oh, that's my bad. So, and then Kendrick came on and performed his songs with no backing track, no background singers, no band, just Kendrick, microphone, hoodie, glasses, hat, breath control, crazy. Okay, performing 6-minute song perfectly, performance-wise. Usually they are rapping along to their lyrics. I mean, he had like some of the background stuff in there, but not like him rapping over his lyrics. A lot of times we just see artists either lip syncing or just rapping along with themselves. He was actually performing his own music with his own voice. And then he brought out, J-Rock, Schoolboy Q, Absol, Black Hippie, Dr. Dre, all them. And that was before he got to They Not Like Us. And then he did They Not Like Us. He started over from A minor twice. Right? And when he stopped, people kept going. They was rapping the rest of the verse, the whole arena kept going. And then he started over a third time. He brought out Storm DeBarge, who's an LA choreographer. I follow her. She's an amazing dancer. She's like continues to rise. Um, rise. She was at the LA Super Bowl performance. She's been like on a lot of LA stuff. But he brought her out, and then I don't know the other girl's name. And that was the first full performance. And then the second full performance, he brought out everybody. Russell Westbrook, walking onto the stage was a sight to see. I mean, I'm just like, and I know Russ from LA, went to UCLA. So it wasn't surprising that Russ loves to dance, but seeing it happen, DeMar DeRozan, and then everybody from LA on stage, they brought children in their arms. It was big black cookout energy. The fifth time he performed it, it was go man. Do your dance, man. Do your dance. They laughing to the point that you forget this is a diss track about the biggest artist, the biggest rapper in the game. He paused after the fourth performance to tell us the significance of, outside of the diss track and the back and forth records, the significance on what this moment meant to LA. Post Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace, Nip. Post that. Stop the violence. It was Stop the Violence night. They took pictures like the Harlem Renaissance where all the jazz artists are on the stoop. They took a picture. Kendrick was like, we need to memorialize this moment, y'all. This is big for the city. We've been grieving. Y'all don't understand. There's a section represented all on this stage. A moment. And I thought it was over. It wasn't over. Performs the song all over again with 8,000 niggas on stage. Seeing black men come and dap each other up on the stage, laughing like, bruh. It was so good. I've never witnessed anything like it. And Amazon has done these performances before. I think I've seen Future did one, but everybody wasn't paying attention like this. Maybe because the black folks was off. Well, everybody was off. Juneteenth's not a federal holiday. Maybe because it was at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 Eastern, and everybody's awake still. It ended like right before, it's like 11:30 now, East Coast time. So it ended maybe 30, 45 minutes ago. So, it was up. 21 Savage did do one, and I watched both of them. So now I'm like, and I'm asking this genuinely, no hate, no disrespect, genuinely. If you were Drake or in Drake's camp, what do you do next? Like, they danced on your grave virtually. Like, it was a funeral in a sense. It was a celebration of black culture, a celebration of LA hip hop culture specifically. And it was still kind of directed towards you. Drake was like, yeah, YG know how to bang a set. Then YG came out and was like, sometime you got to pop out and show niggas. I mentioned you, but you with him because they not like us. But I'm the me that they not like. I'm the us. I'm the they, I mean. Y'all the us. It was us, LA, but also, honestly, if you're Drake, what do you do in this moment? Do you just ride it out? I mean, the summer is just starting. This is just now over. This is going to be in the news cycle for at least the rest of the weekend. The articles, the podcast topics. I almost was not going to come on live tonight. You all right? I was almost not going to come on live and save this for a podcast topic because I got to shoot. I gotta shoot Friday. But it felt so big. I was like, I gotta talk about it right in the moment. What do you do? Because and I'm not even being funny. I think Drake could release the best diss track with new information, all bars, fire beat, with, I mean, just exculpatory evidence, and I think it would fall flat right now. I think there's nothing he could do musically directed towards Kendrick that could be bigger than the moment we just saw. And I'm not even being funny. I don't think there's any, and I'm like, even if everybody felt like this was just the best, I think it wouldn't even hit. I don't think it would even hit. I think it would be made fun of or laughed off. Like, I don't think there's not, I mean, I'm seriously, I don't think I don't think he could have a concert with representation of equal value that Kendrick just did to him. I don't think he could pull the same amount of artists, athletes. I don't, I don't know about LA gang culture, but I don't think there's a uniting Toronto gang. I don't think he could do that because that part is separate from the diss track, but I mean, from the diss tracks, but also it was during the diss track, so it kind of is all in one. Returning Pac's ring, y'all said, I don't know. I don't even think that's enough. I think you got to go dark. I think you got to go dark. And I'm not even being funny about Toronto. I'm like, literally, I'm trying to think of what he could do that would be like, yeah, I think he got to lay low. I think he got to, I mean, 0 dark 30. You just got to, because all across the nation, HBCU bands are practicing in the summer heat from TSU to FAMU to Howard, Hampton, Prairie View, and in between. Grambling, Southern, Jackson State. They're practicing in the summer. This is when they get good for the summer. In the summer for the football season. They're marching in the tomorrow, Pine Bluff. They're marching in the summertime sweating because they want to deliver this for the first game, for homecoming. If they weren't going to do it already, they're gonna do it. It's such a great song for bands because it's horn forward. Boom. It's big, drum line. We was playing the bass. Boom, boom, boom. Like, it's a whole Black culture thing. It's a storm brewing. And Drake has always had the athletes. Bron was in the crowd, Russ, DeMar, Rick Ross was there. He's not an athlete, but like, is it not gonna be cool to stand next to Drake? It was cool before, but then Kendrick Lamar was like, "Hey, LeBron, keep the family away. Steph, keep the family away." He name dropped people. It was like, no, stay away from him. Drake has rap cooties right now. He has rap. The thing that Drake did to Meek Mill has been done to him. And if you are my age or older, it might be harder for young people to get, but Ja Rule, people be laughing at Ja Rule now, but there was a time where Ja Rule was on top. He had 2-3 summers where he had hits after hits after hits. He was taken very seriously. He was making a lot of money, all that type of stuff. Then it became, because of 50 Cent, it became a meme and a joke. And then Dave Chappelle was like, let's see what Ja Rule has to say, like all that type of stuff. I didn't think it was possible for someone of Drake's stature who grew up on the internet. And this is what I said before when this happened. Drake was losing this battle on the internet before this. Memes, BBL Drizzy, all that stuff. Now, this is the most unified, like even his fans. What I'm talking about diehard Drake stans. I saw one tweet that was like, Kendrick couldn't have done this without Drake. This is the Drake stimulus package, this concert. Even if he would have done this Juneteenth concert without the Drake battle, it wouldn't have been as big. Even if that were true. Maybe it is. I don't even know. Maybe it is. That doesn't bode well for Drake. Because remember, Drake said, we fed you that information. If that is true, that means that you knew that this was a potential outcome. That don't track. I don't think Drake understood how much Kendrick disliked him. He's fueled by hate. Kendrick is Darth Vader the moment Obi-Wan Kenobi cut off his hands and legs and he's laying in the ground, seething with rage. And when he went into the booth, he became Darth Kendrick. He got the suit, he got the mask. He's fueled by hate and rage. And he knows how to make that hate and rage rhyme. Certified boogeyman. Feels like he has the entire city of LA on his side. A large portion of it feels like hip hop versus Drake fans. Right? It doesn't feel like East Coast versus West. It feels like everybody versus Drake fans. Drake stans are fighting for their lives. But it's everybody versus Drake stans. If you are even non-biased, if you're non-biased, you're like, oh, Kendrick's killing this. It feels like everybody versus Drake. But Drake ain't having nothing. He's not. If you're a boxing fan, this is like the 10th or 11th round, and you're like, if he don't knock him out, it's over. But he's been knocked down 48 times, and he's walking backwards. That's like, even Drake fans, after that performance, how do you defend Drake and say, like, how do you say anything other than he lost? And that's what I said before. If you're a sports fan, or if you're a boxing fan or a track fan, and you've had a favorite, you've had to watch your favorite lose. LeBron fan, I'm a LeBron fan, right? And there was, for me as a LeBron fan, there's no defending LeBron and the Heat's performance in the finals versus the Mavericks. When they lost to the Spurs, or the Spurs, they were overmatched. The Warriors with KD, I could make a case. When Kyrie and Kevin Love were hurt, I could make a case. But when LeBron lost to the Mavs, and LeBron and the Heat lost to the Mavs, and they were the favorite, I had to sit there and be like, nah, the Heat got outplayed. LeBron didn't play well, and they lost. But as a fan, even though I'm a LeBron fan, I had to sit there and take that and say, oh, they lost. I'm also a Roy Jones Jr. fan. When I was watching Roy Jones Jr. come up, he couldn't be touched. He used to fight with his hands at his sides. He used to do this, do that, knock everybody out, all this stuff. And in one day, he got knocked down, and he was clenching his teeth and frozen. And it was undeniable that my favorite boxer had not only lost, but he got hurt. I don't think Drake fans have had that moment with him. You can't, even if you tried to before, you can't say Drake won this battle anymore. I don't think you could have said it if you were non-biased before, but even if you're biased, you got to look yourself in the mirror. And if you watch that concert, even if you believe it was anyway matched, Kendrick fed him the information, Kendrick lied, he didn't have the daughter, whatever. If you watch that concert and you say anything other than Drake lost, you've got to be checked in. You got to check in, and you got to see the lady. At some point, you just got to accept that you lost. You're losing. You lost, and they danced on your grave. Gang members who aren't even rappers. Some of the people on stage at the end weren't even rappers. They were just gang affiliated. They dapped each other up while your diss track was playing. And it was on Amazon. And tonight, everybody had Amazon. I didn't know if we went free trial or not, but it didn't seem like anybody who was at home was not watching this. NBA players were dancing on stage. People brought their children to dance on stage. Man got his entire life. Go, man, what you gonna do to a diss track about you? Gangs were unified to a diss track about you. Oh, it was on Twitch as well? Oh, dang. I didn't even know it was on Twitch. Gangchella. They're calling it Gangchella. Dog. And also, just like for a moment in hip hop history and technology, I just want to go back to this for a moment. This has never happened. The closest thing I can even think of, which was big, was like when Snoop and Suge was at the, I believe it was the Source Awards, like, y'all ain't got no love for hip hop, ain't got no love for the West Coast. And Andre and Outkast being like, the South got something to say. But those were all moments that weren't they were not globally televised. People talked about them post time, but because of the internet and technology, the connection that we all had, it felt like everybody was watching this, and it was on Juneteenth. Even years ago, Juneteenth wasn't as popular as it is now. Juneteenth wasn't a federal holiday until a couple years ago. This could only have happened at this intersection of time. Even if this happens moving forward, people will always go back to this moment as like, nah, this kicked it off. And forever in time, this is at worst, it's a loss. I'm not saying Drake is finished. I don't think he's finished. Far from it. I think he still knows how to make fun music, but I think his legacy is tarnished. And I think his opportunity to be considered a GOAT rapper is severely tarnished. He was in those conversations before because of sales and hits, number ones, but he took a cultural loss in a way that I don't even think, even when Meek Mill lost the battle to Drake, he didn't take a cultural loss. He just lost the beat. It seems like Drake took a cultural loss in addition to a battle loss. Do you feel like that, or am I tripping? Am I doing too much? Am I saying he took a cultural loss? Am I saying that? Am I going too far? But it feels like it don't even feel even anymore. Black Music Month. Okay, most people don't think I'm tripping. Yeah, it looks like most people feel like he took a cultural loss. It's a unified. It's everybody's laughing at you. And the thing that's crazy to me, early in the battle, remember Kendrick hadn't responded. Drake was like, nah. You ain't gonna be able to hide this one out. I'm gonna make you come out. Drake said that. Nah. And at that point, I didn't think Kendrick was gonna pop out. I thought like that was it. And he taunted Kendrick. And I believe he overplayed his hand. I believe he greatly underestimated how Kendrick felt about him and how far Kendrick was willing to go and what Kendrick was willing to do and what people were willing to do and how people would feel. And the music Kendrick, he underestimated a lot of stuff in this battle. Man. Say, Drake, I hear you like him young. Broadcast on Amazon. Some white executive sitting in the C-suite was like, Kendrick Lamar on Juneteenth. Oh, gee willikers, Bob. Let's do it. We get to give something back to the blacks. We get more people to know that we stream live events on Prime Videos, just not Thursday Night Football. They not like us. 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 Amazon's probably over the moon. The amount, whatever they paid Kendrick, and also Kendrick got paid twice. He got paid to perform, and then Amazon paid him. Cash App probably paid him for that brand deal. But whatever Amazon paid him, what they just got in earned media, in advertising, how many people know about it? Their marketing execs are probably like, my God, K-Dot. Wop, 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 wop. Oh my gosh, right, guys? Look at the numbers on Kendrick. Get a load of this guy. I don't care if he unified the Crips and the Bloods. G Perico. Get a load of G Perico. Big fan of G Perico. Everybody knows G Perico. YG, love YG, huh? My hitter, my hitter. My hitter, my hitter. Barb, get in here. They got Dom Kennedy on stage. Problem goes by Jason Martin. Look at the numbers, babe. We're to the moon on Amazon Prime Video. Look at these guys. Look at what the blacks have done on Juneteenth, no less. Get a load of this guy. Oh, buddy. They not like us indeed. Amazon is probably so happy Apple Music didn't get this, or YouTube or Spotify. Like, they could have given Kendrick $15 million and it would have been worth it. $20 million. Because for 3 hours, the whole of Black Online, which we know moves the culture, was talking about one specific thing on their platform. And do you know who the real winner is? J. Cole. Jermaine Cole, who, I mean, you talk about a guy who, I mean, whew, J. Cole, when everybody said, no, that ain't hip hop. No, that ain't hip hop. Bro, you got to stay. You don't. Sometimes it's best to leave. Hey, man, I'm sorry. I was tripping. You are a great artist. How many of y'all know Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest rappers of all time? Huh? That ain't even me. I haven't slept well at night. John P. Key has a song that says, I bow out gracefully. As I leave, I bow out. I say bye, bye, bye. I say bye, bye, bye. I bow out gracefully. And I was with him from the beginning. As a man of 40 plus, I said, man, I'm done. And so many people were like, nah, J. Cole wrong, bro. He weak for that. And now look, can you imagine if Kendrick was laser focused on Drake? Even if he had diverted 10% of the energy to J. Cole, it would have been too much. J. Cole, we need to be more like J. Cole. Do what's best for you, bow out, say, hey, no, take the memes, whatever, choose peace over people. Because that man is here tonight. Can't you, sleep, dreaming. Me. Kendrick's even defending J. Cole and they not like us. He said you did Cole foul. What if J. Cole didn't bow out and Kendrick reserved a verse for J. Cole and talked about how he played basketball in Africa, something that was important to him? I don't know what he would have done. That's why you can't let the internet tell you what to do. You got to do what's best for you. Because you could have been on Amazon taking a diss track to the face with the whole culture stomping on your grave on Juneteenth to celebrate a day, the holiday that's 3 years old on the federal tip. It's been around since, 1867 or 65. 65 or 7. That's what you're talking about. Was 63, but it wasn't technically done until 65. So it's Juneteenth 65 or 67. Y'all help me. Galveston, I know. It is 65. Okay, I know if it's 63 and 65 or 65 or 67. Juneteenth 65, 1865, Galveston, Texas. Appreciate y'all. Dog. And listen, all jokes aside, Kendrick's my favorite rapper. I was rooting for him on this side. I didn't like how Drake. I've been very vocal about this. I didn't like how Drake was moving. I remember the Millie Bobby Brown thing when it happened in real time. I thought that was cringe. I thought how he moved towards Meg was cringe. I thought his allegiance with Tory Lanez was cringe. I hadn't been feeling Drake for a while. So as a Kendrick fan, I was happy. But today I legit was like, all right, enough, Kendrick. I'll stall him out. Performing it 5 times with an outro sixth performance. I was like, bruh, you win. You win. And what he did to Meg. He was taking shots at Meg. I thought all that stuff was cringe. Thought all was cringe. And I liked Drake. I thought he made a lot of fun music. But as of late, probably the last 2 or 3 years, he was moving in a way that I didn't really like. Okay. And then you got to hear that. And even me, when he performed it after the picture, I was like, well, dang, man, shoot. My God. They had kids sea walking, y'all. I ain't never seen nothing like it. I ain't never seen nothing like it. What is it? The braids? He came out to Euphoria. What? He came out to Euphoria. That was he came out of the ground to Euphoria. Yo, what a day. What a day. What a moment. Now, I wasn't watching with my family. I was watching on my phone while my son was at soccer practice. It was my turn to take him to soccer practice. I was walking around the little walking track while he was practicing. Can we just, I want to touch on this again real quick, because I remember Nas, Jay-Z, Ether, Takeover, and all this stuff. But that was radio. That was passing around tapes. This was music videos. This was, because of the connectivity of the internet, this was instant. Like, feel like Nas and Jay-Z, that was regional, then it flowed west. The internet has made everybody be having access to the same thing at the same time. So although there's more people on earth, like since, the 90s or whatever, it has to feel heavier because of the internet than it did in the 90s. Somebody in Kansas City, when Nas and Jay-Z was beefing, it took a minute to get to them. Right? Somebody in Oklahoma might take a minute to get to them. When Like That dropped, before we even get to They Not Like, when Like That dropped, everybody was immediately talking about it online. When they were dropping song for song, it was a topic on all my social platforms immediately. Me and my wife were watching the movie. I just put my phone down to charge. I think Drake had just dropped Family Matters. Kendrick dropped, I want to say 616 in LA. Correct me if I'm wrong. Drake dropped Family Matters that same night, which was his best entry into the battle to me. And then I put my phone down and we were talking, me and my wife, and then her sister called him like, do you hear Kendrick drop? We was like, yeah, we already know, 616 in LA. She was like, no, Kendrick dropped. And then it was Meet the Grams. And we stopped what we were doing and everybody was talking about it online. The next day, They Not Like Us dropped. I was having a birthday party. It was all we talked about all night. Everybody, even the people who weren't watching this tonight, were like, dang, I'm missing this. But they were watching via their timeline. 10 years, if you watch this tonight, you will remember what it was like to watch this. Like Michael Jackson's Super Bowl performance when he took the glasses off, how people always reference that. People who saw that in real time, they will mention that. I was there. Like LeBron's chase down block. If you're watching that game, you remember that moment. Your favorite sports team's moment. The Avengers on your left. When they start, you remember what it was like to be in that theater. Anytime you see a clip of that, you remember where you were. It's like a song from your high school. The first time you heard it, you're back in your first car. That's how this concert's going to be. People, and it's on Juneteenth. You're not even going to be able to forget the date because it's going to be on Juneteenth. That's how big this is. Gangchella. Motown 25. Yes, that's a great example. Feel like something changed. That's what this is going to be like, I believe. For me, I don't know how Drake can top this. And I don't know if he will ever recover. And what I mean by recover, I don't mean to say I have no Drake's 36 or something like that. And he's a good rapper, he's a good singer, he's very clever. No doubt he will make a hit song again. What I have concerns and questions about is, will he ever have the presence he once had? What I mean by that, it was up until this battle, it was always cool to stand next to Drake. A Drake cosign meant great things. A Drake dropping a shoe or a collab, it was always good. It was standing next to Drake was cool. I don't know if it's cool for Drake to hop on your song the way it would have been prior to this. I don't think the things he was getting away with, he'll get away with post this. I think he is forever tarnished. Yeah, and I agree. Drake is a pop star, right? Hold on, who said that? Drake is a pop star. I agree. But his pop star is rooted in hip hop. He's not a pop star like Taylor Swift, where he can just be like, well, I don't need to do that. He's not like Miley Cyrus, where Miley Cyrus can pick up rap music and then put it down and then go to country and have a whole career. He's not a pop star, but he's like a hip hop star, right? So I don't think he can ignore this community. He's just gonna make an R&B album. It's not going to be. I don't think, because of the allegations, because of what Kendrick said. LeBron, keep the family away. If I'm LeBron, I don't want to be in a picture and have people commenting in the caption in the comments like, LeBron, he told you to keep the family away. I don't even want to deal with that. And LeBron was at the concert vibing. And he went, Drake, yeah, Wagwan Delilah, which I thought was not a real song. And he hopped on Sexy Red song. Even his Instagram caption was like, a goat doesn't worry about a one-trick pony or something like that. And if that wasn't directed at Kendrick, fine, but people are going to assume it was. And if it was directed at Kendrick, all I'm saying is, if I was a super Drake fan, I would be hurt right now. Because this is like watching your favorite fighter not only lose, but getting knocked out the ring, mouthpiece falling out, and them falling out of the ring into the stands, and then their pants falling down and their butt crack showing a little bit when they try to get up, and their glove being off a little bit and their shoe untied. And the ref going like this. Ding, 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 ding. And they get to the thing and their eyes big. And you're just like, God, dog. All that happened? That's what it's like. How'd your shoe come untied when you got punched and you trying to tie your shoe with boxing gloves on? You are disoriented. That's what it feels like to me. Somebody spilled their soda on you. It got in your eye. You're like, ah. And at the end of the day, Amazon used Black culture to profit again on Juneteenth. That's the real winner here, unfortunately. Capitalism. This company used Black culture in a Black holiday, and they lined their pockets. Their Prime Video is more popular today than it was yesterday. And that's the real winner, even more than Kendrick. Amazon, however much they paid him, they picked the right one. Cause golly, if I'm an artist, I want that moment, even if I can't get it. Oh, this is the platform. I want to do this. If I'm an Atlanta rapper, I want to do Atlanta rapper and friends, New York rapper and friends, Mississippi rapper and friends. I want to pop out and I want to have I want this too. Pay me. Let me perform in my city's version of the forum. Bruh, pay me $15, $20 million. You don't even need a diss track. Other artists will want to do this now. And that's what I'm concerned about. Is the world changing where you don't have to be live anymore? That's not the only option. Oh yeah, if I can, I'd love to be there in person. But bro, the streaming quality, it's the difference between like, I love going to live sporting events, but as a viewer, watching an NBA game from my TV is a way better experience than watching an NBA game at the arena. I can see much better at home. The production value on that show was crazy. I listen, I don't smoke. I know they was in there smoking. I wouldn't have wanted to be in that concert personally. But I don't mind watching from home. The fact that you can watch that, Amazon pays you that the value of Prime Video and Amazon Music is stronger as a result of today. And that, bruh. And I'm just so glad we was able to watch it as a family on Juneteenth. Yeah, like they had to try to revamp Versus. I just don't think that's gonna work. Versus as it was a time and place because we was locked down. That's why it was working. And we had nowhere to go. That's why the numbers don't reach what they used to reach, because when they first started popping, we didn't have nothing to do. Me and my wife, I remember my wife, we were making food for like fight nights to watch something on Instagram. This is before they even had, prior to Teddy Riley even trying to up the production value. We made fun of Teddy Riley because he tried to up the production value. But then after that, everybody was doing what Teddy Riley was does. But when it was just on phones, we had nothing to do. And it was just like when the artist would like play a song and talk about it, and it wasn't even beefing. It was like, yeah, when I was backstage with this and this, how he came up with this song. We was making tacos for that. But after the pandemic, the guidelines eased up. It wasn't the same. Yeah, I agree, Jamila. Versus was the best when it was IG Live. It never got better than that. What a time, y'all. What a time. All right, y'all. I'm finna go to bed. It's 9 o'clock. I appreciate y'all for hanging with me. With 47,000 people in here. That's sometimes you got to pop out and show niggas. Let me take a picture of this before y'all leave so I can show my mom. 47,000 is a record for me. I want to say thank you to Drake and Kendrick, because I got 48,000 people live talking about what we just saw. And it's because of hip hop music. Happy Juneteenth. All right, peace.